Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD Starcraft, and I'm back for another game from DreamHack Valencia. This is going to be another game from the semifinals. As you guys all know, I am going to be doing the highlight games from each set. This is game 2 of a game between the red Protoss player, who is in the bottom left-hand corner here. This is Elfi, and he is going to be spawning in the bottom left of Belshir Vestige. And like I said before, this is going to be game 2 of the set. I'll be casting the highlight games from the tournament. I'll try to be doing one game from every set here from the round of 8 onwards. And here is his opponent. It is a blue Protoss player known as My Insanity Stardust. And this is the player that beat Jaedong in the grand finals of DreamHack Open Summer. So yeah, this is going to be a really good game. Of course, if you guys don't remember who's Stardust and what kind of play style he has, he's an extremely aggressive Protoss player, kind of harking back to the days of Huck and MC. Aggro Protoss, especially in PvZ, plays it you know, grindingly to the teeth. He will punish you. He will do 1 base, 2 base all-ins. He is one of the craziest Protoss players I've seen in some time, and you know, before DreamHack Summer, honestly didn't have that much of a resume under his belt, but now when you look at his page, when you look at his history, he's got first place grand prize beating Jaedong in DreamHack Summer. So yeah, that's quite the accomplishment. I think he's got the respect now, the bravado, everything he needs to you know, and obviously now look at this, man. He's in the round of 8 of DreamHack Valencia, and like I said before in the last game, these players, they're almost all the same top tier players that are coming time and time again into DreamHack. Yes, by the way, guys, Jaedong is here, so I will be casting more Jaedong games, and I don't want to say much more about that, but I will be casting the highlight replays from this tournament, as you guys all know, so let your friends know. And by the way, guys, this is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss, if you didn't already know. But yeah, this should be a good one, and honestly, you know, Stardust, his playstyle being highly aggressive, it's going to suit him quite well here, I think, in PvP, because PvP is still, you know, it's mirror matchup, and as you guys all know, mirror matchups are highly volatile. Protoss versus Protoss is one of those matchups you have to be careful about a lot of things. Foregating is still very strong. Dark Templars have become very powerful in the mid game. There's just a lot of things that can be done in PvP that you have to watch out for, but that's not to say we can't see an expansion 2 base, or even more here in PvP. That's quite possible now with the Mothership Core and the defense that it allows you in this matchup. So this should be a good one here. I cannot wait to see how this goes down. By the way, guys, this is game 2. Game 1 actually going to Stardust, and I was told that game wasn't too good. So I'll be just casting, of course, the best games from the sets. And for those of you guys who are wondering, it ended in about 12 or 13 minutes. Stardust just kind of stomping him. And we'll see here what happens here in the second game. Whoever wins will advance onwards to the semifinals to join the likes of Hyun in the last game that I just casted. So there it is, guys, and we do have a Twilight Council coming up right now from Stardust. He is also adding on another gateway, and Twilight Tech this early on could mean a couple of things. We could see DTs, we could see Blink Stalkers, one or the other. Meanwhile, in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, it looks like Elfi is going to be adding on just another gateway. He's just going to be going with Warp Gate tech and gateways for now, so he's going to be a little bit behind in technology, but what he makes up for that is going to have just a little bit more of an army, a few more stalkers, and he's going to have a robotics facility, so he will be going for Immortal / Observer here, which is actually really good because, in fact, we do have a Dark Shrine coming from Stardust. He's going immediately into DTs, and like I said, in PvP, you gotta be careful about a lot of things, and DTs is going to be on the menu. We do have Elfi also throwing up a proxy pylon. He's bringing his Mothership Core in as well, and I'm not too sure what the plan here behind this is. I think he's gonna try to go for like a 3-gate attack here on the ground, trying to apply a little bit of pressure to Stardust, but he's got to be careful because Dark Templar are going to be coming up pretty soon here. Now, does any player have Blink? No, neither player is going for the Blink upgrade, so we're just going to be seeing base Stalkers, no upgrades on them, and it's going to really come down to micro. Stalker versus Stalker. Now, of course, Elfi will have more Stalkers. I mentioned that before. The reason being that Stardust went for DTs. Now, both players trying to kill each other's Mothership Cores. Both Mothership Cores have gone down, and Stardust has overcharged his Nexus just before his Mothership Core went down, so it was just enough to keep these Stalkers away. Very nice job right there Elfi also running his Mothership Core behind the main base. Now, does he see the Dark Shrine? No, he did not get to see it. So that's a huge deal for him. Although, I think just from seeing the Twilight Council, he might be able to deduce, okay, either you've got Blink, or you've got Dark Templars, and since I didn't see you use Blink in that last attack, I've got to assume that you're going for DTs, and in fact, Elfi very intelligently is making an Observer right now, and he's pulling all of his Stalkers back. So very nice job right there from Elfi, showing a great game here. Elfi actually coming into the group stage round 3 multiple times, I believe, in the DreamHack circuit, and this is his first time, I believe, punching through into the round of 8, the quarterfinals, so a big deal for him if he can get the job done against Stardust, who, like I said before, is a champion, taking out Shadong in one of the most wildly aggressive PvZs I've seen in some time. So we'll see what happens here. We do have Stardust going for a Nexus, as is Elfi. So both players are going to be expanding here. It looks like there was a little bit of a pylon here at the outskirts of Elfi's natural expansion. He's going to immediately take that down. And will these GTs end up getting anything done? There's just one hiding on the map, as far as I can see. And it is just chilling right here at the Xel'Naga Tower. It's kind of hard to see him in those bushes, but there it is. Stardust actually going to run it out now and going to try to get something done with that DT. And I think maybe Stardust has just said, well, I don't think the DTs are going to be too effective anymore because my opponent has gotten observers by this point. It would be very risky to try to produce a ton of DTs and get something done, and I don't think it'll be worthwhile. So he's just going to send this lone one in. He's not producing anymore. He will have to defend against this attack at his Nexus, and I think he's got enough to do it. I'm not too sure why he's hesitating. He's got Blink on the way as well, and he's going to push in here. Meanwhile, this Dark Templar coming in didn't get any kills because there are no probes there, but at the front door, will Stardust be able to ward off this attack? And I think he will be able to, just very easily. And in fact, once he gets Blink finished, he can actually pursue these Stalkers and take them out. And Stardust isn't actually sending this Dark Templar in to do anything. This Observer can see it, but right now Elfi is just too busy dealing with these Stalkers that he's actually trying to run away from. Of course, with Blink, Stardust is going to be able to outmaneuver these Stalkers. He's got to bring his sentries out, and he's got an Immortal here. This Immortal is going to help so much. And he's got to bring that Immortal forward to try to slay these Stalkers, and he will push them away. But in the meantime, the Dark Templar snuck its way into the main base, and oh my god, it's gotten a ton of kills, 4 kills already. Maybe not a ton, but it is racking up the damage. And finally, another Observer coming out of the robotics facility, allowing Elfi to slay that DT. But at the natural expansion, Stardust pushes in, and he takes out some more probes. So a great job right here from Stardust, who is, by the way, the blue Protoss player. He's doing an incredible job of staying on top of his opponent. He's killed off more workers. He's got a higher economy, 34 over 25, and he's got, I don't think he's got better tech per se, because Elfi's got Robo, whereas Stardust has got Twilight, but he's got a better economy, and that is going to help quite a bit here in Game 2 of this set. And Stardust right now just got to sit back and play it safe, I feel like, and he's got this one in the bag, barring some huge misstep. And Elfi right now he's got a big mountain to climb. I mean, he's down by about 10 or so probes. You can see that he might be considering, I'm not sure if he's considering just going for a straight all-in, or if he's going to try to macro himself out of this situation. And I think, you know, there's definitely merits to both. You can try to get another expansion going. You can try to build up an army, but with both strategies, you know, going all in now or trying to expand, you got to weigh the risks versus the positives. And it's kind of a tough spot for Elfi, honestly. I mean, his supply is lower, his income is lower. He's trying to catch up, though. He is using Chrono Boost very efficiently. He's only down by about 7 workers, and it looks like he's going to try to add on Twilight Council of his own. But the problem is we do have Robotics Bay on the way, and I haven't seen a good old Colossus war in some time in PvP. And the reason why it's kind of fallen out of favor is because of the Tempest. The Tempest just completely dominates the Colossus. But in that early stage, when you first start to produce Colossus, they can still be very, very strong, and it takes some time for Protoss to be able to adapt to that, to be able to get a Stargate down and get a few Tempests on the field. It's actually quite difficult to do, to switch your tech like that from ground into air in PvP. So you know, the early surprise of the Colossus can be very strong still, and I think that's what Stardust is going to try to go for. He's trying to go for Colossus right now, and look at this, he blinks over the ledge and brings his Stalkers right into the main base, and wow, nice play right here from Stardust. And with Blink, really, he can just harass and then get out of here without losing too many units, although he's getting stuck right now between the probes and the Zealots, and in the front door, in the meantime, we have a little bit of a micro war, and once again, Stardust using Blink very wisely to get out of harm's way. And so a little bit of a few skirmishes here or there as Stardust is trying to keep Elfi on the back foot, of course. And I think he's just trying to make sure that when his Colossus comes, it will come as a complete surprise. It will be very hard for Elfi to deal with, and we even have extended thermal lance on the way as well. So yeah, Colossus are going to be a huge help for Stardust's army, and I'm not sure what Elfi's going to be able to do about this. I mean, he's going for Templar right now, which is not, I mean, you can go for Templar if you, as long as you make them into Archons. Archon Charge Lot is a composition that can be used against Colossus, but typically it doesn't fare so well. Colossus are usually going to have the last laugh, and this is going to be very hard, I think, for Elfi to be able to deal with these Colossus. One thing that a Protoss can do is get a Warp Prism out, get the speed upgrade for it, and then ferry the Immortals in during combat and drop them right next to the Colossus in order to take them out very quickly. Which, by the way, guys, there's a new upgrade recently to Warp Prisms. They've been given a bit of a speed buff. Don't think it applies here in this replay, but nevertheless, that is one thing Elfi can do. I don't see a Warp Prism on the way though, but he is going to push out here with his Archon Immortal Zealot army. Does he have charge yet? Not quite so. And really, with an army like this, you do need charge because so much of your army is melee based. You need some of those Zealots to get up there first and right away in order to absorb damage from the enemy army. So this is going to be very close, I think. 126 supply to 115. It's also going to be counting quite a bit on Elfi to be able to feed back well, I guess there really isn't that much to feed back here. Colossus can't be feedbacked. Nothing in the enemy army can be feedbacked, so he just needs to make everything he's got into Archons. And here we go, man. A classic PvP battle. Archons versus Colossus. No charge, though, which I feel like is going to really hurt Elfi's chances of winning this battle. We'll see what happens, though, but he is pushing in. He's also trying to add on his own Robotics Bay to go for Colossus of his own, and I love what Stardust has done here. He's made hallucinated Colossus, basically trying to flex his army to make it look stronger than it actually is. And at the end of the day, oh man, one Archon just gonna go down for no reason at all. And Elfi doesn't know that these are fake Colossi, so as he sees his army pushing in, he's really dealing with something that, oh my god, he tried to run away because he thought that he couldn't deal with this army, and he got sniped. The Mothership Core got sniped before the army could return home. What a beautiful play by Stardust, focusing his Stalkers to taking out the Mothership Core, and Elfi just really losing units here as he's kind of limps his way back home now. He's lost more than he should have, and now he's gonna realize, oh, those Colossus were fake. Damn, I should have engaged instead of running away, and that's just kind of psychological warfare. Stardust utilizing it to the highest degree, and I think at this point it's probably going to be GG. Not too sure what Elfi can do now, and now he's run his entire army back home. Unfortunately for him, Stardust with a brilliant play, using his hallucinated army, tricking Elfi, forcing him to use Mothership Recall, and then Stardust sniping out the Mothership Core. So yeah, that is, I think, going to be it as Stardust pushes in, and Elfi cannot do anything about this. His army is going to get lasered down, and a lot of workers falling as well. So Elfi is going to have to GG. Stardust is victorious. He will join alongside Hyun in the semifinals, which I will be casting at least one game from every set. I hope you guys enjoyed. And for now, this is HD, and I am signing out.